So if you're tired of taking 3 different pills every morning just to cover your omega-3s, vitamin D, and vitamin K, I found something that might simplify your routine. So let's go over the Oceanblue Professional Omega-3 2100. I'm gonna go over what's actually in this, show you the pill itself, and talk about who this really is for. So this is a 3-in-1 fish oil supplement. It combines omega-3 with vitamin K2 and vitamin D3 in a single soft gel. So it's wild caught, which is important if you care about sourcing. The company claims it's burpless, with an orange flavor, and it's gluten-free, non-GMO, and free from heavy metals. So with this, you get 60 soft gels per bottle, so about a 30-day supply at 2 per day, which is recommended. Okay, so before we get into the formula, let me explain why omega-3s are worth paying attention to in the first place. So your body can't make omega-3 fatty acids on its own, so you have to get them from food or supplements. And most people aren't eating enough fatty fish to hit the levels that actually make a difference. So here's what research shows omega-3s can do. Heart health is the big one. Omega-3s help reduce triglycerides. Those are the fats floating around in your blood that contribute to heart disease. And studies show they can also reduce inflammation markers and improve how your arteries function. So brain function is another area. EPA and DHA are actually structural components of your brain. So higher intake is associated with better cognitive health as you age and a lower risk of dementia. So your brain is just literally made of this stuff. Then joint health and inflammation. This is where a lot of people notice the difference first. Omega-3s have anti-inflammatory properties, which is why people with stiff joints often feel better when they're consistent with fish oil. It's not just placebo. There's a real mechanism behind it. And another proposed health benefit is eye health. Eye health is less talked about, but worth mentioning here. Omega-3s can help lower risk of age-related macular degeneration and even dry eye. So fish oil supplements support multiple systems in your body that need these fats to function properly. So let's have a look at the pills and a look at the ingredients in this thing. Okay, so here's the bottle, nice looking bottle. We can go on over to the ingredients. So we have the omega-3s here with the EPA, DHA, and DPA. And we get 2,100 milligrams of this per serving. And you can see 1,300 EPA, 600 milligrams DHA, and 150 milligrams of DPA. So that EPA to DHA ratio is about 2.25 to 1, which is actually intentional for this product. So higher EPA ratios are optimized for heart and joint health, while higher DHA ratios are better for brain and cognitive focus. So this formula is leaning into the cardiovascular and anti-inflammatory benefits. And here's what most people don't know about this, is that this also includes DPA. That's the third omega-3 that most fish oils skip. So DPA is actually absorbed 22% better than EPA or DHA alone, and it acts like a reservoir that your body can convert to whichever one it needs more of. Studies show people who take supplements with all three see about a 63% higher omega-3 blood levels compared to just EPA and DHA. So if you see a fish oil that includes DPA, that's a sign they're not cutting corners here. Okay, at the bottom here, we have the vitamin K2, 150 mcg per serving. So K2 is the one that works with D3 to help calcium get where it needs to go. So basically it helps direct calcium to your bones instead of your arteries. So if you're taking D3, having K2 in the same pill actually makes sense here. Okay, and then we have the vitamin D3, 2000 IU, 50 mcg. That's a good daily dose, especially if you don't get a lot of sun. D3 supports immune function, bone health, and mood. So a lot of people are low on D3 without realizing it. So this is a really good 3-in-1 supplement here. Okay, so let's have a look at the pills themselves. They're kind of your standard looking fish oil pills. Definitely the size, you know, the soft gel. And in general, just fish oil pills are a little bit larger, so just keep that in mind. As you can see it in my hand, it's a little large. And the smell of these, so there's no real fishy smell. You know, I was skeptical about this, but there's just no fishy smell at all. Also, one big issue with fish oil is just having fishy burps, which is pretty disgusting. And a lot of fish oil supplements have that, and these do not. I have not had any problems with fishy burps. Again, the fish is wild caught from sustainable sources, which is actually certified by Friend of the Sea. So you can be sure that the oil is coming from a high quality sustained source. Okay, so the pros of this. First, the 3-in-1 convenience, having the omega-3, K2, and D3 in one supplement is really nice. It simplifies your routine and you're not having to buy 3 separate bottles. Second, no fishy burps or aftertaste. At least for me, that's been the case, and that seems pretty consistent with what I've seen. And third, the dosing is pretty solid. The 2100 milligrams of omega-3 with a good EPA DHA ratio plus the K2 and D3 at amounts that actually matter. Some supplements skimp on the secondary vitamins, and this does not. And fourth, the wild-caught and clean ingredients. Non-GMO, no artificial colors, gluten-free. So if you care about sourcing, this checks all those boxes. So who should actually get this? This is good, really good for anyone who wants to simplify their supplement routine. If you're currently taking omega-3 with, the vitamin D and vitamin K, you can just have all this in one pill. So in my opinion, this is definitely a supplement worth checking out if you're looking to simplify your daily routine while still getting quality ingredients. Wild-caught, 3-in-1 convenience, and no fish burps. That's a combo that's hard to find. And for people who prioritize clean sourcing and don't want to juggle multiple bottles, this is definitely worth picking up.